Hello, all you beautiful people. So, yes, it's not Tuesday, and I'm posting again. You can shoot me if you want, but I really just had to share today. Pardon my hair. Again, it's a bit of a mess, but it's because it was up in a bun all day. Today I went hiking with my dad and my brother and a nephew and my kids. It was so amazing. Went over to my dad's house for breakfast, and then we went to the hike, had a picnic lunch, and then went and saw another little waterfall. Came home, and my lovely daughter and I went to the gym and did some leg day weights. Um, so yeah, I'm really happy. Um, it was a gorgeous, hot, sunny day. And yesterday I got out with a friend and went for a very brisk walk. Um, and that was great. We hadn't only gotten together a couple times, but life's been busy, and both of us have been busy, and she works day shifts and I work night shifts, and so it's really hard to coordinate our schedules. So yeah, overall the last couple days have been great. On Tuesday I worked, and I started getting anxiety, but I was able to work my way through it. A couple of the things that I did was some deep breathing, and I also did a CBT trick that my therapist taught me. That where you look at the situation and you repeat your. And what I did was I repeated to myself, "I've been through this before. Nothing bad has happened. I didn't die. I've been through this before, and nothing bad happened. I've been through this before, and nothing bad happened." Just over and over in my head. If you need to, say it out loud. I have a whole list of other tips that that I could use, but that one really seems to work for me. I used it when I had my migraine. Um, so that to me is a really, really good trick to use. I didn't end up needing to go home, and I was able to just take my rescue medication, my hydroxyzine, and do my mantra and go and finish work. So I was really proud of myself. So a couple of really, really good days. Like I said, I feel really good. I feel great, actually. My husband said that he's noticing the old me coming back, and I hope this is a trend that lasts. So let's talk about coping mechanisms today. One of the things that, like I just shared an example of a coping mechanism. We've got good coping mechanisms and bad coping mechanisms. A bad coping mechanism would be to ruminate on the situation and catastrophize it even more. A bad coping mechanism is to deal with your life and get drunk all the time or get high. A bad coping mechanism would be to stop eating or eat too much. Although with some mental health conditions, that's kind of one of the symptoms is with depression specifically that I know of, you either way overeat because you're depressed and you're trying to drown out your feelings with food, or you don't eat because you're so sick, like physically to your stomach, and you're just so depressed that getting out of bed and making food is difficult. Good coping mechanisms, unless they're taken to the extreme, would be exercise. It gets the endorphins going, which is the body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. So that's one really good way. I have found running to be a godsend for me. When I can't get out and run because I'm too tired, because I'm working too much, well, not too much, but too many days in a row, it's difficult for me to get out and run. And I find that I get more depressed, more low, and even a little anxious because I really enjoy running, which if you'd asked me 20 years ago, I'd have told you no, that there's no way I'm going to run unless I'm having to chase a kid. So that's a good coping mechanism. Another good coping mechanism would be to talk to a trusted friend or your therapist. Another good coping mechanism that I use is to color and draw. I use mandalas, which is very helpful for me. It's very zen-like, but I also have my swear word coloring book, which I absolutely adore. It's so much fun. It's calligraphy with swear word, affirmations with swear words in it. One of my favorite ones is Certified Badass. I have that on my locker at work. It uses the F word a lot. My favorite. There's one that was a picture of a like a scenery, like the woods and the river, and it said "Don't be a dick." It's a great coloring book. So those are some examples of healthy coping mechanisms. Now we all strive for those, but in the end, it's just we're going to do what we're going to do to get through the situation. We can try and correct the behaviors later. For me, because I've been so happy, I haven't really cared about my eating, which is horrible. You'd think that feeling good, I'd care more. But I decided to overeat today. It was a conscious decision. At my dad's house, we had milk toast and poached eggs. And if you're wondering what milk toast is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's toast with warm milk over the top. Poached eggs, put some sugar on top of that milk toast. I had 2 16-ounce cups of chocolate milk. And then I had for lunch, I had a Lunchable sub sandwich one with chips and Kool-Aid and the sub sandwich. And then for dinner, I had another sub sandwich that was much more substantial and had a lot more good stuff. I had lettuce and tomatoes and onions and, of course, my ham and my meats and my cheeses. So, yeah. Oh, and then I also had a Venti Frappuccino when I was grocery shopping because I was hungry and my daughter was hungry and we just thought it would be fun because sometimes it's fun and you need to do that. What else did I do today? So we went on the hike and then we went, did our strength training. And then I got to play video games and chat with some of my friends that live in Utah. So that was fun. We haven't seen them in a couple of years since they came out to visit us. I really miss them, but it was good to chat. That's what I love about technology is you can live hundreds of miles away from each other and you can still virtually get together. I mean, we're friends and here I am talking to you. Really, I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. So I just want to let you know that, you've got your coping mechanisms, figure out what is the good ones for you and practice those. The other thing that I noticed on Tuesday was that I had forgotten to meditate prior to work. And I have noticed that really helps me out. It helps me get grounded, helps me prepare for the day. I use a morning affirmation 1 or 2, depending on what mood I am in. They're usually 10 to 15 minutes long, so it's not a whole lot of time. I can do that sitting in my car before I go in and get changed and ready to go, or I can do it at home before I leave. It's very soothing and it really keeps my mind focused, and I really like that. So meditation, you guys, that's another good coping mechanism. Yoga is a good coping mechanism. There's different varieties of yoga. Some incorporate more meditation, some are more movement based, some are just kind of stretching, and they all help you center your mind and center your body together. Healthy eating, that's always going to help you. So even if you don't feel like eating a whole lot or you can't get up and cook something, have an apple, have some already cut up produce in your fridge and crawl yourself to the kitchen and get yourself some vegetables at the very least. Not very filling sometimes unless you eat a bunch of them, but at least you're getting some good nutrients in. Let me know in the comments what your favorite coping mechanisms are. Maybe I can incorporate them into my own life. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click the button that allows you to get notifications. I'd love to have more of you subscribed and getting notifications that I'm going live. And I'd love to see some of your comments and questions and just learn more about my followers. So please do that. And I will talk to you at least on Tuesday, if not sooner. Bye.